theme today, Ashwin, is art of a bestseller. So let's begin that as our first question. Is there a secret ingredient to write a best-selling book? You get a book out every 2 years. He's been writing from 2007. It's now 2022. You write a book every 2 years. It flies off the shelf. People wait for your next book. Bharat series is so popular.
There is a very simple
success
three-point formula for those who are wannabe writers in this crowd. Am I audible? Yeah? Okay, lovely. So there is a simple three-point formula. The first part of it is that your opening paragraph should be like a pothole. A pothole of Bombay or Delhi, where you fall in and it's impossible to get out. तो एक बार आप उसमें गिर जाते हो, then you are sucked into that story. That first paragraph should do the job of the pothole. The second is that I like to keep my chapters short, and every chapter, the most important part of that chapter is the last line. Because that last line will determine whether your reader goes to the next chapter or not. The most difficult quality of a writer is to get someone to turn the page. And that is what that last line of the chapter does. And third is that your last paragraph should be like a satisfying burp at the end of a meal. It should make your reader feel that you've tied up all the loose ends, that you've given him a satisfying conclusion. But most importantly, it should get your reader to look out for your next book so that you can continue to be a bestseller. So it's a three-point formula, not very difficult.
I think you're saying it very easily. I think these are great tips, but I also realize that you're saying it very easily. Apologies. But it's also about the content eventually that you put in. Let's talk about the content.
Sure.
Then. Religion, science, a mix of both. How easy or difficult is it, and why did you think that I don't want to just write on either? I want to mix it. I want to have Christianity and perhaps the quantum part of it. I want to write Buddhism and have science in it. Why did you write, and how difficult is it? What if someone's offended? What if someone says that's distortion? Because how dare you write a fiction on our religion?
Yeah. So first of all, let me just sort of correct the impression here. I am not interested particularly in, let us say, religious theology or in mythology or in science or in philosophy. I consider myself, if you had to define me, I am defined as the overlap guy. I'm always interested where there is an overlap. So, for example, if I, let's say, look at our dharmic philosophy, and we, of course, have the creative force, which we consider to be Brahma. But now when I'm looking at the word Brahma, B-R-A-H-M-A, and then if I take the A from the end of the Brahma and I put it at the beginning, I get Abraham. So now, for me, that is exciting. Ki, arey, there could be a possible overlap between Abraham and Brahma. Then I think to myself, nahi, Ashwin, tum pagal ho. This cannot be a connection. But then I think to myself that no, Brahma's consort is always Saraswati. And who is Abraham's wife in the Old Testament? Sarah. Sarah Saraswati. So now I'm wondering, no, this seems too much of a coincidence. Then I'm looking at, let us say, the trinities of Hinduism. The female trinity, male trinity. Lakshmi Saraswati Kali, Brahma Vishnu Mahesh. And in Sanatan Dharma, we've always had the Shri Yantra, which is basically your overlapping triangles, the intersection between Shiva and Shakti. So I say, okay, fine, let's not have 9 triangles, just 2 triangles, one representing male, one representing female. Overlap them. What do you get? A 6-pointed star. Where else do you see the 6-pointed star? The Star of David. Right? So where is the connection from from our male-female trinity to the Star of David. Then I think, no, this couldn't be. I go down south, I see not only the Om, I see the swastik, but I also see the six-pointed star at the temples. And I'm wondering, where else have I seen it? And then I'm looking through a coffee table book, and I see a sketch. That sketch is a 15th century sketch, which is of a tomb in Afghanistan, drawn by an English lieutenant. And I'm looking at that, and I say, my God, the doors outside that tomb, right? It's an Islamic tomb. That sketch is drawn in Ghaznavi. It is the tomb of Muhammad Ghazni. And the doors to that tomb have six-pointed stars, which is not an Islamic symbol.
But how much of it is easy?
One minute. The finality of this.
Yes.
The six-pointed star is on that door, so you're wondering, why is that six-pointed star on the door? And then you dig a little deeper, and you realize that when Muhammad Ghazni attacked Somnath, he carried away the sandalwood doors.
Correct.
And those sandalwood doors were then installed outside his tomb. So now you find that connection as to why it's there. So for me, it is never about one particular thing that will excite me.
You find the links.
It will be the linkages between those things that will excite me.